What's up, everyone? Welcome to what seems like an eternity, but this is the Round 6 recap of Season 1 of the SBL. Now, before I tell you guys why this is taking forever to come up, I'll introduce my guest to you guys for this one. Introducing the SBL master of stall and bulk and all that fun stuff himself, Akat.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Alright, so the reason this took so long to come out is actually a legit excuse this time. I had a computer crash. And yeah, after taking it to two different repair places, Office Depot and the Geek Squad at Best Buy, they couldn't really fix it themselves, so I saved up some money after doing a little bit of handiwork with my uncle for a little while. Rock's dad, by the way. I ended up being able to afford a new computer, so that's what we're on right now. And this is the first video I've recorded on this computer, so woo! And Akat has... You said you had food in the background, right?
Yeah, eating Italian.
Oh, that sounds great.
It is.
Alright, anyways, round 6 here. This was a really close round overall, but before we get to the matches, oh my god, are there a ton of transactions. Alright, and the first of such transactions came from Zappe, as he chose to drop Drudagon in exchange for Claydol. Alright. Good.
That transaction, I don't know, it seemed really weird to me. I guess it gave him a little bit more dice coverage, but I don't know, I'd keep Drudagon if I were him.
Well, the reason he did that will be shown on the next slide, really, but what he loses in Drudagon really is really just a slower kind of tank dragon, and he has Salamence for dragon too. And Claydol gives him the ground type and psychic type that he, I believe, lacked, and a rapid spinner and stealth rocker, always handy.
That's fair.
Yeah, and the fact that Claydol's a lower tier than Drudagon actually let him free up space for the next transaction that was made, which was a trade that he made with Iron, which was he traded Scrafty to Iron in exchange for Tangrowth. Now, yeah, I think it was a good trade on both ends, because if you recall in the last round, I traded my Roserade over to, what's-his-face, Iron for, well, it was a double trade, but anyways. Iron had two grass types on his team, two bulkier grass types with that. I mean, Roserade's more especially bulky, but anyways. And Zap was looking for a grass type for a long time. Like, he wanted to pick up Superior at one point, but he didn't have enough space for it. So I think Tangrowth's a good pickup for him.
Tangrowth is definitely a good mon. I got a great grass mon that regenerator ability was amazing.
Absolutely. And from Iron's end, picking up Scrafty is an interesting one. But trying to think of if he had a dark type. I don't think he did. Either way. Yeah, I think it was a good trade for both teams. It gave both teams something they kind of lacked.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'm just kind of trying to fly through these transactions because there's so many of them. Alright, and the next transaction, again, comes from Iron, as he dropped his Hippowdon in exchange for Keldeo. Now, at first glance, someone might think, wait a second, Hiptina's team was all made free agents. Why didn't he just pick up Manaphy instead? Well, the reason for that is, in real time, this happened long before Hiptina's disqualification, so Manaphy was not on the free agent market at the time of this transaction in real life.
Rippin' Pit.
Yep, Rip Tuna. But this transaction, I kind of see where he was going with. After he traded his Blastoise to me, which, yeah, that Blastoise, wasn't a fan of getting it, but anyway. After he traded his Blastoise to me, he didn't have a water type anymore, and for water types that were left in the free agency, it was either Keldeo or Volcanion, and really Keldeo's not really a more versatile Pokemon, but it's really good at doing what it does.
Yeah, I don't have much experience with Volcanion myself, but I know Keldeo is definitely a solid mon.
Oh, absolutely. And with Hippowdon leaving, what Iron loses is basically that sand and that physical bulk, but the fact that he traded away like a couple of his ground types, the sand wasn't really needed anymore. I mean, that's one Stealth Rock setter he lost, and kind of a wall he lost, but I think it was for the better in the long haul.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, and our next transaction, I believe, came from me. Yes, it did. As I decided to drop my Latios in exchange for Hydreigon, and I will say that the main reason I did this was purely for comfort. I am more comfortable using Hydreigon than I am Latios, even though Latios is probably a better Pokemon in general.
Yeah.
But really, as you'll see later on with these transactions, I was starting to get a kind of an abundance of psychic types, but I still wanted a good dragon type too, so it was either Hydreigon or Kyurem Black, and while Kyurem Black is really good, Hydreigon's a little bit faster, and I've used it more and am more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And Hydreigon gives me a U-turner, so there's that too. I really like Full Turn.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. What's the next transaction here? I believe, yeah. Alright, this was the final transactions for Rock on the season, as he decided to drop Mega Sceptile and Feraligatr for Mega Venusaur and Zygarde.
Seems like an okay trade.
Yeah, I definitely think picking up Mega Venusaur was more valuable to him, because with Mega Sceptile is a good Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it just seemed to have a weird fit on Rock's team in general.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, go ahead.
I'd say slightly more versatile with stuff like Sleep Powder and Synthesis. It can go just attack mode.
Yeah, definitely do that.
I'll...
Alright, and I guess with losing Sceptile, he won another dragon, hence why he picked up Zygarde. I just don't know why Zygarde was that dragon he picked up.
Oh no.
I mean, he loses another very good Pokemon in Feraligatr, but he hadn't bought it at all, and he seemed to prefer his other water types to it, so I can understand it. Alright, let's see, what's the next transaction? I believe there's only 2 transactions left, and it was kind of a double transaction. Yeah, it's Crimson dropping Volcarona for Celebi. Now, we won't really talk about Celebi yet until the next slide, but what he's losing in Volcarona is a setup sweeper that can destroy everything in the right scenario. And with Volcarona, though, it's a fire type, and Crimson clearly preferred Infernape as his fire type, so I can see why he did that. Now, the reason I'm not talking much about Celebi for Crimson is because of the next transaction that happened. He actually traded that Celebi to me immediately in exchange for my Suicune. Now, I will just say right off the bat, in terms of me losing Suicune, this trade was a mistake on my end. Losing Suicune is a bad thing. I mean, I'm happy to pick up Celebi. It gave me the grass type I lost in Roserade, and Celebi's actually my favorite mythical Pokemon. But Suicune, as the season went on, I realized just how valuable Suicune was to my team, and just how good a bulky water type is.
Yeah.
But yeah, will losing Suicune really come back to bite me in the end? We'll see later on in certain other videos. Alright, now let's get on to the matches, beginning with Rock and Liepard City versus Iron and the Germanian Nidokings. To the match, Rock brought Jirachi, Terrakion, Diancie, Mega Venusaur, Zygarde, and Liepard, while Iron brought Keldeo, Mega Beedrill, Reuniclus, Sylveon, Electivire, and Roserade.
I'd definitely say that this match did get a bit stally towards the middle.
Yeah, definitely.
Really stally on both ends.
Yeah, definitely. I will say though, on Rock's end, he was telling me about his team build before that match with Iron, and Rocky has kind of been in full kamikaze mode. Like he knows he's finishing in last place at this point, maybe, unless he can actually pull out some wins like he did here. But he's just kind of in the mood to go boom with everything, as you might have noticed from the nicknames of all his Pokemon. They were all like boom, explode, all that kind of stuff.
That was funny.
Yeah, I actually gave him the idea to put Normal Gem on his Diancie for Explosion, because he was talking to me like, oh hey, do any of my Pokemon learn Explosion? I was like, just Diancie. And he was like, oh, is there any way I can make that Explosion stronger? I was like, Normal Gem. And that really caught Iron off guard too, because that got a kill on the Keldeo, and Keldeo could have definitely done a lot of work against Diancie.
Yeah, definitely looking at the match. It looks like Iron did really get caught off guard by that, and he put on the back foot for a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from what I saw, Iron prepared very well for this match. Like, he had a good game plan going in, but he did not prepare for all the kamikaze that Rock decided to bring.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sully part that you alluded to, was mostly between Liepard and Reuniclus, as for some reason he had Shadow Claw on his Liepard and not Night Slash. Which kind of let the Reuniclus live a little bit longer and just get off recover after recover after recover.
Yeah, that seems a little bit weird to me.
Yeah, for some reason Iron wanted to keep his Reuniclus alive as long as he could. I don't really know why either. I mean, I saw the Flash Cannon on the Reuniclus. I think that's the only move offensively that we saw.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything else. I'm looking at the match right now.
Yeah, I can see why he brought the Flash Cannon for the Diancie and I guess the Terrakion, maybe? Whatever else is on Rock's team. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Yeah, he had like Rotom Wash and Squallitzer and like Miltank. Or maybe I do remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end, well, before I say at the end, I mean, as a whole, this match was pretty close overall, as you can see by the 1-0 scoreline. But hey, this was Rock's first win of the season, and it didn't come till round 6. My poor cousin. I mean, I kind of feel bad for Iron on this front too, because he was just not ready for the kamikaze that Rock brought to the match.
Yeah.
So, let's see if Iron could bounce back from this. Alright, and moving on to match 2, I believe it was my match.
Yeah, Crimson versus you.
Yep, the Arizona Arcanines versus Diancie United. Crimson brought Infernape, Flygon, Togekiss, Mega Manectric, Weavile, and Cradily. And I brought Galvantula, Mega Aggron, Celebi, Primeape, Gliscor, and Aromatisse. And I will just say, first and foremost, for this match, this was probably the worst match I played all season. Like, especially at the beginning of this match, I just did not play well at all.
Yeah, he definitely had just under back foot for most of the beginning of the match.
Yeah. I mean, I got my sticky webs, that was helpful. That's my Galvantula's main role in any match, just to get up sticky webs.
Yeah, why not?
Never. So maybe later on, but we'll see. And some people might be questioning why I sacked Celebi off so early in the match to the Infernape, and that was mostly because I brought Celebi just to counter Suicune that I traded him, which he didn't end up bringing, so after kind of assessing a little bit, I was like, yeah, Celebi's not really that useful, so I just kind of sacked him off. But that might have been a mistake. Oh well. Yeah, and his Cradily actually, like, completely owned my Mega Aggron. That was actually my Mega Aggron's first death of the whole season.
Yeah, I saw that suction cup and I was like, oh shit, you just got played.
I really did. Because I had Roar on Mega Aggron, I was like, okay, I'll just roar him out, but no, he ran Suction Cups instead of Storm Drain like any other Cradily.
Yeah.
But what really ended up turning the match around for me was my Gliscor, really, because I ran a weird Hyper Cutter set instead of Poison Heal, and the Hyper Cutter was mostly for the Mega Manectric.
Yeah, I can definitely see that coming in useful.
Yeah, because I knew the Mega Manectric had Intimidate, and I think with an Intimidate, I wouldn't have been able to OHKO with Earthquake on the Mega Manectric, which, by the way, that crit Earthquake that my Gliscor got on Mega Manectric didn't matter unless he had HP investment. I think he might have.
I mean, I doubt it. Usually does max special, max speed.
Yeah, something like that. But towards the end of the match, it was my Gliscor against his Weavile. And his Weavile set up a Swords Dance. Okay, that's reasonable. And then he used Icicle Crash, and then he missed. So it kind of came full circle for Crimson, as in his last match was the Sacred Mist from, what's-his-face, Arctis's Entei. And now he missed an Icicle Crash on his Weavile. That kind of made a big difference.
It did, though, yeah. That pack really came through for you.
It did, but I was running the Yachi Berry on that Gliscor, I remember that much. I mean, since he was at +2, he probably would have killed me still, but I digress. And then at the very end, it came down to a Flygon locked into Outrage against my Primeape. And luckily, I gave my Primeape just enough HP to be able to survive that Flygon's Outrage and then kill it with Ice Punch. And I calced it after the match was done, and I concluded that the Flygon had to be Jolly for that to happen. If he was adamant, I had a much higher chance of losing that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my closest match of the season by far, close to 1-0. Yeah, so far the two matches we've seen have both been 1-0.
Yeah.
Close round. Alright, next up, comes Omega and the... Go ahead.
I said, speaking of close round, this one.
Yep, it was Omega and the Philadelphia Tyranitars against Arctis and the Green Bay Pachirisus. Omega brought Mew, Arcanine, Mega Blastoise, Rotom-Mow, Gardevoir, and Porygon Z, and Arctis brought Megachomp, Latias, Entei, Sacred Mist, Whimsicott, Magneton, and Sandslash. Oh, this match. This match right here. Yeah, there were a lot of predictions going on both ends. I don't really remember how this match started off. How did it start off?
It started off with Mew versus Sandslash. Omega took back his Mew and went into Blastoise. Then Arc went into the Grass Fairy Whimsicott.
Whimsicott.
And he does a bunch of switching for the first couple turns.
Okay, that makes sense. A little back and forth action as they try to get the best matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally settled on versus Mew.
Cool. Yeah, the Pokemon that put in the most work on both sides were Rotom-Mow on Omega's side and the Entei on Arctis' side. Not missing any Sacred Fires this week.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a huge plus for Arc.
Yeah, seemed like a lot of back and forth for quite a while, actually.
Yeah.
I think at one point Omega actually thought he might lose.
Yeah, he did. He was down when he was at like 2 months left, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, eventually I think it came down to a Hidden Power Ice battle between Rotom and Magneton. Wait, I don't think it was actually Hidden Power Ice and Magneton. That would have been super effective on Rotom. What am I talking about? Either way, no, what did that Magneton get locked into? It was like Thunderbolt, maybe?
Yeah, it was Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I was about to say, Hidden Power Ice is super effective on that Rotom, and yeah. I can't brain sometimes.
You're fine.
Alright, well, eventually Rotom won that exchange with Magneton and kind of cleaned up the match from there.
Yeah.
And that was tied for the biggest score line of the week as 2-0 in favor of Omega, who remained undefeated like myself at this point.
Yeah.
And spoilers for next video, Omega and I face off next round. Someone's leaving that battle with a loss.
Yeah.
And anyways, it was a good battle on both sides really, and I hope Arctis can bring it back next time.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and finally, you guys don't think I'd bring Akat along without having his match in here, did you? Alright, we had to save the best for last year. Him and the Columbus Chatots against Meep and the Lumiose Lampents. Meep brought Dragonite, Crobat, Dugtrio, Lampent, Ditto, and Starmie, and Akat brought Skarmory, Whiscash, Amoonguss, Sableye, Megazord X, and Espeon. And Akat, since it's your battle, you can go ahead and say what you will.
Okay, going into this, I did want to get a Whiscash sweep. I went into that thinking, okay, I want to get this. That didn't happen, but I wish it did.
It would have been hilarious if it did.
Would have been hilarious. Dragonfish doing that sweep and
Right?
no, it got wrecked by his Ditto. Ditto definitely put in a lot of work in this match, I think.
Yeah, it did.
I got my Whiscash. It nearly took out my Charizard if it wasn't for the burn I got on it with Sableye earlier.
Yeah, a burn fire type at that point. Imagine that.
Yeah, he made me work hard for this match.
Yeah, it looks like it. A lot of back and forth on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it like relatively even for like most of the match?
It was super close most of the match. You got that read on me with his Dragonite when I tried to burn it. That one berry on it.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of that kind of made me sad when I saw that happen.
You're like, oh, I went through all that to burn him, and then he just has a Lumberry.
Yeah, then I got him a sweep with a Moongus, so yeah, that's just fine, I guess.
Yeah, I noticed the Sableye was the one nicknamed Heart, the one that you brought. Was that your Attract Sableye, or do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Attract Sableye.
Yeah, I was hoping to put in some work with it that didn't come through.
Yeah, and this match actually had 3 season debuts for Pokemon. Dugtrio and Lampent on Meep's side and Whiscash on your side.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lampent actually put in a little bit of work for being a not fully evolved Pokemon.
He did, yeah.
Yep, and the 2-0 win went to you. And that was actually a losing streak breaker for you.
Yeah, it was. Ever since, what was the last match I won? The 6-0 against Rock, or?
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah.
That 6-0 against Rock, that kind of puts you on the pedestal early, like people were fearing you at that point.
Yeah, and I sort of let the ball down. I came back in this one, so it's fine.
Or you could say it was like some strategy to say, oh hey, I'm just going to lose a few to get you guys' confidence up, and then I'm going to just go and destroy everyone.
Bunch of mind games getting inside your heads.
I mean, that's like your entire team.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, now for the standings. Man, we flew through this.
Yeah.
Alright. And this was the adjusted standings, because I had to take out Pip's record for obvious reasons. Okay. Omega was in first place at this point, 5 wins, no losses, plus 12 in the differential. I was in second place, 4 wins, no losses, and plus 15. Then came Crimson, 3 wins, 2 losses, and plus 3. Then was Zap, 3 wins, 2 losses, plus 4. Wait, Zap should have been ahead of Crimson. Whoops. That's my one typo for this video. Then Akat, you were in 5th place at this point, 2 wins, 3 losses, and plus 2. Yeah, I don't think you're... As much as you lost during that period, I don't think your record ever became negative.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, because you lost close ones. That was the important part. Alright, then was Arctis, 2 wins, 3 losses, and minus 1. Then was Neat, 2 wins, 3 losses, and minus 5. Then Iron, 1 win, 3 losses, minus 3. Then Lux, 1 win, 3 losses, minus 7. Then Rock, 1 win, 5 losses, and minus 20.
For Rock.
Yep, rip in Liepard City. Alright, and with that, I believe that concludes the kind of rushed round 6 recap of season 1 of the SBL.
Yeah.
Well, got anything else left to close us with?
Don't let your means be dreams.
Good advice right there. Alright, and with that, we will see you guys next time.
See you around.